Granny squares are one of my most favorite things to crochet, and I can sit and crochet them all day long, and you can make such cute projects out of granny squares. And today we are going to make some boot cuffs out of granny squares. So before we get started, I'd like to say thank you for the privilege of your time, and I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite thing that you have made using granny squares? You can let me know in the comments section below. And on that note, let's get started with this awesome pair of granny square boot cuffs, boot toppers, whatever you want to call them. But to make the boot cuffs, we're going to need 5 of these mini granny squares. I have 4 already done. Let's see how they're made. Now, the colors that I am using are, I love this yarn. It's a stone wash, a 4 worsted, and it is color number 9, walnut. And it says to use a 5mm hook, but I'm using a 5.5mm hook. And Premier Basics linen, which is also a worsted, and it calls for a 5.5mm hook. So we start with the linen color. You want to make a slip knot and chain 4. Now this is just your basic granny square. You're going to slip stitch to the first chain to form a little circle. Now, of course, if you like to do the magic circle, you are welcome to do so. I just prefer the old school method of chaining 4 and making a circle. And then you're going to chain 3. That will count as a double crochet. And in the center of the little circle, not in the chain, but in the center of the circle, you're going to do 2 more double crochets. So that's 1, and 2. Chain 2, that's going to form our first corner, and do a cluster of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, we're forming our second corner, and do a cluster of 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, that's our third corner, and it will be our last cluster, cluster number 4, of 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and slip stitch to join to the top of your chain 3. And fasten off. Okay, so you have, this is the center of your square. Now I'm going to take this end, just kind of weave it in loosely, not tight, because I don't want to pull on, the shape of the square, so that it comes over to this other corner so that I can work over top of it and not have to go back and weave it in. So our second color for the second round, we're going to make our slip knot. We're going to yarn over and do a standing double crochet. You can start in any corner pull through 2 and pull through 2. That gives you a standing double crochet. Do 2 more to give you a cluster of 3. Chain 2 and do another cluster of 3 double crochets into that corner space. And then we're going to just reach over to the next corner and do another cluster of 3. Chain 2 and do another cluster of 3. Reach over to the next corner and do a cluster of 3. Chain 2 and another cluster. You can do that in all 4 corners. Cluster of 3, chain 2, cluster of 3. So when you make it to the other side, you can slip stitch to join, or you can do a hidden join. You'd get out your yarn needle, go through the side, and come back around and go through the top of your last stitch that you made. And you don't get that bulky knot of a join. And then you're going to work it in. And then work in these other ends. Really, this one is already worked in, so is this one, because we crocheted over top of them. So the only one left is our beginning standing double crochet tail to work in. Remember, don't pull too tight because you don't want to distort your shape. You just trim off all your ends. So joining the squares is next. And what we want to do with that is we want to have wrong sides together. And I'm going to use my linen color. And we're going to join them with a single crochet on the 2 using the inside loops. This one from this square and this one from this square. So we're going to start off in the corner. With a standing single crochet. And if you crochet over top, work over your end, crochet over the top of it. That'll save you some time. And then we're just going to line up our stitches using those 2 inside loops, 1 from each square, and do a single crochet all the way across. And end in the corner. Okay. Fasten off, and then you move on to the next square. Wrong sides together, and then repeat the same thing. So you're going to sew all 5 together to form a circle. When I get finished with mine, I will meet you back. So once you get all the squares sewn together, you should have a ring that looks something like this. It doesn't matter which side is top or bottom. It's completely up to you. So now we are going to start on the ribbing part. So we're going to start wherever you want, whichever side you want, with a standing single crochet. Work over top of your ends, save yourself some time. We're going to do one single crochet in each stitch. And when you get to where you are seamed together, we're going to do 2 single crochets together. Just continue all the way around the ring until you get 1 single crochet in each stitch, and each join is the 2 single crochets together, and that is, don't complete it and come over to the other side so that you have 3 loops on your hook, and then complete the stitch. So once you make it back around to where you started, you slip stitch to join, chain 2, and do a double crochet into that same stitch, and then do a double crochet into each stitch all the way around. And we will meet up when we get this round completed. So when you make it all the way around, you're going to slip stitch to join to the top of your first double crochet, not the chain 2. And we are finished with this color for now. So fasten off. And we're going to bring on the walnut. Okay, so we want to join into that first double crochet. We're going to chain 2 on this first double crochet. We are going to do a front post, and then we're going to do a back post on the next one, and the next one is a front post, the next stitch is a back post, and then a front post, and a back post. And these are front post, back post double crochets, in case I forgot to mention that. So you're going to alternate all the way around, front post and then back post. And we will meet up when we get all the way around. Okay, when you make it back around, don't pay attention to that chain 2. You're going to slip stitch to join to the top of your first front post double crochet, and then chain 2. And we're going to repeat this same round 6 more times. And now it's easier because the stitch pattern is established for us. So we want to do a front post, and then a back post, and a front post, and a back post. So alternate front post double crochet, back post double crochet, all the way around for 6 more rounds, including the one that we are working on. And we will meet back up when we have completed those rounds. So once you've completed your 7 rounds, you just slip stitch to join and fasten off. Now, of course, if you want to make this longer, then you just add more rounds. If you want it shorter, you don't do as many rounds. This could easily be turned into a leg warmer instead of a boot cuff. Okay, so just a couple of things left to do. We need to do the trim at the top. And work in a few ends. So for the top part, we're going back to our linen color. Remember I said we were finished with it for now. And you can join on anywhere you want. We're going to do a standing single crochet. We're going to work on over top of our end to save us a little bit of work. And we're going to go all the way around with a row of single crochet. And when we get to these joins here, we are going to do the 2 single crochets together. Just to tighten it up a little. Okay, so 1 single crochet all the way around, 2 single crochets together at the joins, and we'll meet back when I make it all the way around. So when you make it all the way around, slip stitch to join, chain 1, and single crochet right back into that same stitch, and do a single crochet in every stitch all the way around till you get back to your very first single crochet. And I will meet you back when I work my way around. Okay, once you've worked your way around, you slip stitch to join, work in your ends, and you do the same thing twice, and you've got this great fabulous pair of boot cuffs. Or like I said, you can do this ribbing longer and end up with a nice pair of leg warmers. So to see how to turn some granny squares into some fingerless gloves, click on this link right over here in the corner. It will take you directly there.